Welcome to Center Stage Music Center Online. My name is Ryan Keys, and today I will be teaching you 3 of the 7 major scales for NYSSMA Level 3 and 4. These scales can be tricky, but we'll go through them slowly and step by step so that you'll have them mastered by the end of the video. The first scale we'll be looking at today is the 1 octave F major scale. This scale will be entirely in first position and has 1 flat in it, which is B flat. Here is the 1 octave F major scale. Okay, let's break it down. So this scale is going to be starting on the low E string 1st fret, which gives us our F, followed by 3rd finger 3rd fret G. We're now going to be crossing strings over to the open A, followed by 1st finger 1st fret B flat, then 3rd finger 3rd fret C, crossing strings one more time to open D, then 2nd finger 2nd fret E, followed by 3rd finger 3rd fret F. That concludes the ascending version of the scale, and we will now be going backwards immediately down to our 2nd finger 2nd fret E, open D, crossing strings to the A string 3rd fret 3rd finger C, followed by 1st finger 1st fret B flat, then open A, crossing strings one last time to the 3rd fret 3rd finger on the E string, which gives us G, and then finally 1st finger 1st fret F. I encourage you now to play it with me at half tempo. Okay, that concludes our 1 octave F major scale, and we'll now be moving on to our next scale. The next scale we're going to be looking at is the 1 octave A major scale. So a couple things to note right off the bat. This scale very much contrasts to F major, whereas before we saw 1 flat, now we're going to be using 3 sharps. So the 3 sharps we'll be using are F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Here's the 1 octave A major scale. Okay, let's break it down. So we're going to be starting with our open A string, followed by 2nd finger 2nd fret, which gives us B, 4th finger 4th fret on the A string gives us C sharp. We'll now be crossing strings to open D, followed by 2nd finger 2nd fret gives us E, followed by 4th finger 4th fret gives us F sharp, followed by 1st fret on the G string, which gives us G sharp, and finally 2nd fret on the G gives us A. So that will conclude the ascending version of the scale. We'll now be going immediately back to G sharp, which is 1st finger on the G string, crossing strings to 4th finger 4th fret D, followed by 2nd finger 2nd fret D, gives us E. Then our open D, crossing strings one last time to the 4th finger on the 4th fret on the A string, gives us C sharp. Then our 2nd finger 2nd fret, which gives us B, and finally open A. I now encourage you to play the scale at half tempo along with me. Okay, that concludes our A major 1 octave scale. We'll now be moving on to our final scale. The final scale we'll be looking at is the 2 octave D major scale. So again, this scale will be contrasting the previous 2 scales we've done. The first thing off the bat is we'll be using now, instead of 1 octave, we're going to be featuring a 2nd octave. So the 3 Ds we'll be using are here, here, and here. Unlike F and C, we will now be using 2 sharps. So we lost a sharp from A. Those 2 sharps will be F sharp and C sharp. The other thing about this scale is we will not be using any open strings, and there will be 3 different positions. Here is the 2 octave D major scale. Okay, let's break it down. So we're going to be starting off this scale in 4th position. So we've now moved up from 1st position all the way up to 4th. So our 1st finger will be assigned to the 4th fret, 2nd finger assigned to the 5th fret, 3rd finger 6th fret, 4th finger 7th fret, right? We're going to be starting with the 2nd finger on the A string. That gives us the D, followed by 4th finger on the 7th fret. Now crossing strings to the D string, doing 1st finger 4th fret, 2nd finger on the 5th fret, 4th finger on the 7th fret. Now crossing strings again to play 1st finger on the 4th fret. Now something that's super important here is we're going to be shifting up 2 positions. So we're going to be moving from the first finger, 4th fret, up to the first finger on the 6th fret. So again, something you want to keep in mind here is you don't want to do this. There's no slides here, right? So you're going to be lifting that finger up off the string to move into 6th position. From there, we're going to be using our 2nd finger on the 7th fret, followed by 4th finger on the 9th fret, and now we're going to be shifting positions while simultaneously crossing strings. So while we have our 4th finger here on the 9th fret on the G string, we're going to move into 7th position while playing the 1st finger, 7th fret on the B string. So we went from here, 6th position, 4th finger, to 1st finger in 7th position. So from 6th to 7th, followed by the 2nd finger on the 8th fret, now 4th finger on the 10th fret, crossing strings one last time to play the 7th fret E, then 9th fret E, and finally 10th fret. Gives us our 2-octave D major scale ascending. So going backwards, we'll be immediately going back to the 9th fret with the 3rd finger, followed by the 1st finger, 7th fret. Again, we're still in 7th position here. Crossing strings to play the 4th finger, 10th fret, followed by the 2nd finger, 8th fret. We're on the B string now still. 1st finger, 7th fret on the B. Now we're going to be crossing back into 6th position while also crossing strings. So I went from 1st finger on the 7th fret B to 4th finger on the 9th fret G. So we are now in 6th position. We're now going down to the 7th fret on the G string, 2nd finger, followed by 6th fret. We're now going to be moving back down into 4th position. So remember, again, we're not doing this. There's no slides here, right? We're going to be lifting your finger up off the string into 4th position. We're now crossing strings back into the 7th fret on the G string, followed by the 2nd finger, 5th fret, 1st finger, 4th fret, crossing strings one last time to play our 4th finger, 7th fret on the A string, and then 2nd finger on the 5th fret on the A string. I now encourage you to play through with me slowly the D major 2-octave scale. And that concludes our 3 NYSSMA Level 5 and 6 major scales. That's it for today's video. We'd love to hear from you, so be sure to leave us a comment below. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out more Center Stage Music Center online videos.